Thanks for watching at 11. I'm Ben Hoover. The Lawrence County Sheriff's Department says an arrest has been made after a man was shot inside the Walmart distribution center there. Deputies arrested 56-year-old Deborah Morgan of Greenwood. Tonight, she faces charges of assault and battery with intent to kill and a weapons charge. Sheriff Don Reynolds said they were called around 3:40 this afternoon for a report of an active shooter, but they later determined it only involved the shooter and the victim, who were both employees there. They say Morgan shot the man in the leg with a semi-automatic pistol. He was taken to the hospital and expected to survive. Sheriff Reynolds said Morgan, the woman, was found quickly after the shooting in a break room.
My understanding is she came to the front of the building and positioned herself at a table and just kind of sat there and I guess thought things over and was identified, and that's pretty much the way it went down.
Sheriff Reynolds says all the employees inside took cover and locked themselves in their rooms until the building was cleared, which took some time since he says the building did not have radio communication inside. The sheriff said no one else was hurt. All new tonight, Pickens County deputies need help to find an inmate who escaped from prison. Here's a look at his picture. They say just after 4 this afternoon, Stephen Leroy Aiken climbed over a fence and ran off from the county prison on Prison Camp Road in Pickens. Aiken has been in prison since January for failing to pay child support and has been charged with domestic violence and malicious injury to property. He's 5'11" with black hair, so take a look. If you know where he is or if you see him, you should call the Pickens County Sheriff's Department. All new tonight, Spartanburg police say they have arrested 2 suspects in connection with 2 convenience store robberies that they believe were committed by the same men. In both cases, the robbers shot at the store cashiers, leaving one of them injured, according to police. Police say they got tips from the public to help find Christopher Jahari James Benson, seen on the left. He is charged with both robberies tonight. He faces 2 counts of attempted murder, 2 counts of armed robbery, and 2 weapons charges. Perry Charles Ellison, the other man, faces charges of attempted murder, armed robbery, and a weapons charge. Tonight, our Tobias Rodriguez spoke with one of the store owners to see how he's handling the situation one day after.
I know how people get robbed, how they feel it.
Sonny Patel says he knows firsthand how it feels to be robbed and shot. He says he was shot 3 times in 2013 in this very store. Spartanburg police say last night the Sidetracks convenience store on Crescent Avenue was robbed again. Patel says he is concerned, but the store needs to stay open.
I cannot close the store because that's the only source of the food around the people, because there is no other store in the neighborhood.
Patel says the nearby road construction has slowed down traffic and business. He thinks that is one of the reasons his store has been robbed 5 times since the construction began.
We are here. We are struggling to get the business, and that's an easy target for the robber.
Police say both suspects were involved in the robbery last night and another this morning at the corner store on Haynes Street. Patel says both incidents make everything more tense.
Robbery every couple months, people, they're robbed here. My employees, we are live on a edge.
Patel has installed 16 security cameras in this store. He says they won't protect him, but they are necessary. He hopes the crime can stop so people feel more comfortable.
No employee want to work here since they know we get robbed every other month. So it's hard to get the employee to work here.
Reporting in Spartanburg, Tobias Rodriguez, 7 News.
Spartanburg police say investigators found the blue pickup truck seen in the robberies in a backyard of a home on Calder Avenue this afternoon, and that led them to the capture of the 2 men. We have an update to a story we told you about last night. A woman who was hit by a truck as she crossed a street in downtown Greenville has died. The coroner says 79-year-old Virginia Byrne was hit while crossing South Main at East McBee Avenue around 8:30 Friday night. The release from the coroner shows she lived about half a block away from where she was hit. Byrne was taken to Greenville Trauma Center, where she died around 10:30 this morning. An autopsy is set for tomorrow. Police charged this man, 37-year-old David Robert Lee of Central, with DUI. Investigators say Lee refused a breathalyzer. He was booked at the county detention center but later bonded out. There's no word on whether Lee will face additional charges. We have learned that he is an employee of Clemson University. The school's website shows Lee works in public relations with the College of Engineering, Computing, and Applied Sciences. Tonight, we know the names of 2 people who were killed in a crash on Dacusville Road in Marietta last night. We brought the story to you as breaking news at 11. The Highway Patrol says an SUV ran off the road, overcorrected, crossed the center line, and then hit a box truck. The driver of that truck was hurt and taken to the hospital. The coroner's office says Michaela McKittrick was a passenger inside the SUV. She died at the scene. They say the driver, Adam Hewitt, had to be removed from the SUV and was taken to the hospital where he died. Bond was denied for 2 suspects in a home invasion that left the victim in intensive care. Dakota Brown and Hunter Lee Honeycutt both facing attempted murder and burglary charges. That bond hearing was held at the Oconee County Detention Center in Walhalla today. Last Thursday, a woman was shot multiple times at a home on Maple Avenue in Seneca. Honeycutt was arrested Friday. Brown was arrested the next day on Saturday by Oconee County deputies. The family of the victim was not able to attend today's hearing, but an advocate was there to represent them.
Right now, at this time, their primary objective is to be with her. So I was here during the bond hearing to represent them. And unequivocally wanted the bond denied, which that's what happened this morning, so we're thankful for that.
Lieutenant Williams went on to tell us the 73-year-old victim is in the neuro ICU at Greenville Memorial and says her condition is serious. In Greenwood, an arrest has been made after a robbery at a Pizza Hut Saturday. Police charged 26-year-old Kevin Jackson of Greenwood with strong-armed robbery, kidnapping, and first-degree assault and battery. Officers say Jackson went to the back door of the business before it opened, convinced a worker to open that door, and then pepper sprayed her. Then took her to the front, threatened her with a taser, and told her to open the register and the safe, but she couldn't do that because of the pepper spray in her eyes. Police say more charges from the county are coming for a different incident. 157 people were killed when a U.S.-made airliner crashed in East Africa on Sunday morning. Among the dead, 8 Americans. That plane was a new Boeing 737 MAX, the same model that was involved in the Lion Air tragedy back in October. DeMarco Morgan has more tonight.
This field is where Ethiopia Airlines Flight 302 went down on Sunday morning. 149 passengers and 8 crew members were on board. There were no survivors. First responders spent the day scouring the crash site for victims' remains, as well as any clues as to why this happened.
That will obviously rely heavily on the 2 black boxes, the flight data recorder and the cockpit voice recorder.
The plane went down just 6 minutes into its flight to Nairobi, Kenya.
We are very, very saddened. Our heart is broken.
The chief executive of Ethiopia Airlines said the Boeing 737 MAX 8 was new, having been delivered to his company in November.
At this stage, we cannot rule out anything.
In October, another Boeing 737 MAX crashed into the Java Sea off Indonesia, killing 189 people. That tragedy also happened just after takeoff.
Well, I think there has to be a thorough investigation by the FAA and the NTSB as to whether these planes are safe, because there are just too many coincidences.
The U.S. has sent 4 members of the National Transportation Safety Board to Ethiopia to assist in the crash investigation. They'll be joined by a team of technical advisors from Boeing. DeMarco Morgan, CBS News, New York.
And we continue to learn new information. We have learned that China's Civilian Aviation Authority has ordered all Chinese airlines to ground Boeing 737 MAX 8 planes after that crash. The victims came from at least 35 different countries. The identities of the Americans who were on board have yet to be made public. Some of the people killed on the flight, we know, were staff with the UN's World Food Program. That agency is headed by former South Carolina Governor David Beasley. He posted to Facebook this morning saying, "We are determining how many WFP employees were on board and working to notify families." He is headed to Ethiopia now, where he, quote, vows to help comfort the families. Coming up next, many presidential hopefuls spent their weekend in Texas at a popular festival, but find out which possible candidate could soon jump into the race.